Hello everyone and welcome to this webinar. Today we will run this Quuppa webinar together with our longtime partner BlueUp. So the topic for today is discovering advanced tracking solutions, and we are going to talk about real-time locating systems and smart tag features. More specifically, we are going to cover the custom features BlueUp has implemented in their Quuppa Approved tags and how those features can be utilized in different use cases to bring additional value to RTLS solutions. And who are we and who is going to present today in this webinar? My name is Joni Jantunen and I'm a product manager at Quuppa and also managing the Quuppa tag and device partner ecosystem. I also have the pleasure to introduce Alessio Cucini, who is the CEO and founder at BlueUp, and Oksana Butrymchuk, who works as a technical support engineer at BlueUp. And just to mention, BlueUp is one of the long-term partners of Quuppa, and the partnership started many years ago in the very early phase of the tag ecosystem. So I will start by introducing Quuppa and our partner ecosystem and what is the role of Quuppa tag partners in providing RTLS solutions to the customers. And this includes also the Quuppa device qualification categories and how we support the tag partners in making the Quuppa qualified products and some example customer cases where BlueUp tags are in use. And Alessio and Oksana will then present with more details the advanced features of BlueUp's tags and how they can transform precision tracking in industrial and healthcare environments. And before starting with the actual webinar topic, a couple of practical things. First of all, the webinar will be recorded, so it's possible for you to watch it again later. And the recording will be also available for the people who could not join this live webinar session. We will also mute all of the participants during the presentation for the best possible recording. So if you have questions or comments, please use the Q&A section in the Teams tool at the top of the window, so we can then cover those questions at the end of the webinar session. And to get started, so now we know who is presenting, what is the topic, and what are the practicalities. So shortly about Quuppa as a company and some background for those who are not necessarily familiar with Quuppa yet. So Quuppa was founded in 2012 and the roots of the technology development extends actually to 2005 and Nokia Research Center, where the core team worked on the technology before founding Quuppa. Our headquarters is in Espoo, Finland, in the Helsinki capital region, and for global coverage we also have several other offices around the world. Our core business is focused on real-time locating systems, meaning RTLS, and we provide the technology and solutions for a wide spectrum of use cases, customers and markets in the areas of RTLS. Quuppa has been recognized by Gartner in several consecutive years, and we are also active members in Bluetooth Special Interest Group and Forbes Technology Council. And on the right side, you can also see some of the key figures which summarize how widely Quuppa RTLS systems are used as of today. And based on the figures, we can firmly say that over the years we have built very strong expertise in the RTLS market, serving a growing number of customers all over the world. But of course, at Quuppa we are not operating alone because one of our key strengths on the field is based on the fact that we serve the customers together with our large Quuppa partner ecosystem. We have an open ecosystem where our partners can contribute in different areas. For example, in different roles, including the system integrators and the software companies and infrastructure providers. Last but not least, also as tag partners like BlueUp and so on. Together, we can offer complete RTLS solutions to different geographical markets and serve the needs of different market segments and verticals. You can find more information about the Quuppa partner ecosystem from our website and through the link below on this page. An essential part of the RTLS solutions are, of course, the tags and devices that can be located accurately and which fulfill the specific requirements of the customer use cases. That actually brings us to the part of the Quuppa ecosystem we are now focusing on today. As said, the tags and devices that fulfill the requirements of the use case are a crucial part of the RTLS solutions. Here you can see the different tag and device categories that show the compatibility with Quuppa systems. On left-hand side, there are the Quuppa Approved tags, which are primarily standalone tags that are designed for different RTLS use cases like for people tracking, asset tracking, and so on. They all support the Quuppa native system features and accurate positioning, of course. We will soon talk more about this category with more details. In the middle, there are the Quuppa tested devices, and that's a certification category that is mainly reserved for devices which, unlike the standalone Quuppa Approved tags, are typically designed for some other purposes than positioning, or originally designed for some other purposes than positioning. The example devices here are the mobile handsets, barcode scanners, digital displays, and GPS trackers. The key requirement for these tested devices category is that the devices can transmit the radio packets or the Quuppa direction finding packets as specified in the Quuppa emulation specification, at least on one of the Quuppa tracking channels on the 2.4 GHz frequency band. That enables the positioning of the devices. Then depending on the device capabilities, it may also be possible to configure and command the devices using the Quuppa system. That is usually not the case because these devices have also some other communication back channels like over the cellular connectivity or Wi-Fi or some proprietary radio connectivity. Those options can be used to configure and command the device. Then basically, as a difference to the Quuppa Approved tags, the Quuppa system is not the only communication back channel with the tested devices. That, of course, relaxes a bit the requirements what come to the Quuppa native system features, because there are other means how to configure and command the devices. On the other hand, these Quuppa tested devices, they don't necessarily support all the Quuppa system features like the proprietary channels and so on. So there are a bit differences in this inside of this Quuppa tested category. However, this Quuppa tested stamp means that we have verified the performance of the device as a part of the Quuppa system, and the devices can be tracked accurately in our RTLS system. Then shortly about the Quuppa verified sensors, which are like Bluetooth-enabled sensor devices, and those can be used to collect sensor data using the Quuppa IoT gateway functionality in Quuppa locators. These verified sensors, they enable, for example, the collection of heart rate data in sports or environmental data like temperature and humidity and so on, to monitor the facility conditions and so on. To mention other use cases, the they can be also used to trigger alerts like in movement or proximity detection or to detect a low liquid surface in a container or a tank, just to name a few use cases. But one of the key points is that the sensor data is available through the same Quuppa API, similarly to the location data. And that of course brings value from the integration perspective. And another differentiating feature in this verified sensor category is that these sensors are not by definition trackable by the Quuppa system. So they are not sending necessarily the Quuppa direction finding packets, but they can be used to expand the use of the RTLS system to collect the valuable sensor data in different use cases. Okay, but then coming back to this Quuppa Approved category. So basically this Quuppa Approved stamp means that we have verified the tags and that they perform very well as a part of the Quuppa system, and the tags can be positioned accurately by the Quuppa systems. And additionally, the approved tags can be configured and commanded correctly through the Quuppa locators and the API, which is a very important aspect if we think of the integration of RTLS solutions into end customer systems. And as many of you know, Quuppa also provides Qt31 and Qt11 tags, which are like reference tags, and they can be considered more or less as all-around tags that can be used in multiple use cases. And basically they are a good starting point for Quuppa projects, and sometimes they are also a good fit for the commercial phase in a large-scale projects. But usually there are some use case specific requirements like the requirements set for the asset tracking and people tracking, and those use cases necessitate a specific form factor, like you can see here for the BlueUp tags, which are, for example, wearable on wrist or can be used as ID badges and in different asset tracking use cases. Or then to have a couple of other examples, there is a need to have a different form factor, for example, for asset tracking and to enable this kind of a larger battery and a longer battery lifetime for the use case, or they need to be mechanically very robust and durable. So that also set requirements that require different tag form factors. And like in the case of BlueUp Forte Plus, this bright LED is supporting the pick to light use cases, so it brings some additional value, but also set additional requirements for the tag. And there may be peripherals like buzzers or easy to press buttons, which are not necessarily included into the core design of our Quuppa reference tags, but they are more use case specific functionalities of the tags and open and unlock more use cases for the RTLS. Okay. Anyway, whatever are those specific requirements set by the use case for the tags, you can either use the Quuppa reference tags in the starting phase, or then directly choose a partner tag from the growing selection of Quuppa Approved tags. And just to summarize the device categories and Quuppa Approved and tested stamp basically means we have verified the performance and it works accurately and reliably with the Quuppa system. And as we are today focusing on the partner tags and more specifically on the custom features of BlueUp tags, one important thing is of course to know where to find the Quuppa Approved tags and if a tag is approved or not. And as the general guideline, all the Quuppa Approved tags can be found from the Quuppa website or from the partner website. And from the Quuppa website, you can just click the offering tab at the top, which shows you the option tags and devices. And there you can find the complete list of Quuppa Approved tags and also tested devices and verified sensors. And one important thing to remember is that if a tag is not listed on the Quuppa Approved website, then it basically means that it's not yet Quuppa Approved, but we may be working on that already. And if you don't find a suitable tag for your project, so please then contact us and BlueUp, and together we can help you in selecting the right tag for your needs. And additionally, we can also help in finding the potential new tags to be Quuppa qualified, as we are continuously working on the qualification of new tags. And of course, the customer requests are naturally taken into consideration to fulfill the new needs and requirements. So at Quuppa, we basically provide to our tag partners the reference designs and guidelines and source code and libraries for implementing and verifying these Quuppa qualified products, which is of course one of the main reasons and benefits for the tag partners to join the Quuppa tag ecosystem. And then tags that we have qualified with BlueUp are fully interoperable with Quuppa system features. And in addition to the native Quuppa RTLS features, the offering we provide to the tag partners basically enable the development of the vendor-specific features, or the custom features, as we are calling them today. And by using these enablers, BlueUp has not only implemented the native functionality of the Quuppa Approved tags, but also implemented functionalities that go even beyond the Quuppa approval, and the BlueUp tags can be used in these additional use cases that Alessio and Oksana will describe with more details soon. And to summarize the value of the Quuppa Approved tags and the other device categories, we can firmly say that it is an easy and safe option for our partners and customers to choose and use a Quuppa Approved tag, because first of all, it ensures the quality what comes to the positioning accuracy when the approved tags are used in Quuppa systems, and secondly, it ensures the interoperability with the Quuppa system features. And as a third point, one can mention that at Quuppa we have a strong experience in using the Quuppa Approved partner tags in Quuppa projects, and we can efficiently support the projects where those tags, either approved tags or tested devices or verified sensors, are used. And this means that basically less time is spent in the project on clarifying the unknowns and fixing things that have been already implemented and verified to work correctly for Quuppa Approved tags. Next I will show a couple of customer cases where these BlueUp tags and custom tag features have been used in Quuppa RTLS solutions, and then I give the floor to Alessio and Oksana. So the first reference case is from the industry vertical and from heavy metal manufacturing. Our end customer, Sulzer Pumps, is a well-known global company on the sector, and the partner providing the overall RTLS solution is Virtual Manufacturing. In this case, the Quuppa RTLS systems are used to track people and machinery like forklifts and assets. And in addition to these more traditional RTLS use cases, an example use case exists where the BlueUp's custom features are used, and that is related to the people tracking using the BlueUp card tags, which also have a button, and this custom feature capability of the BlueUp tags to detect different kind of button press sequences, like a double click, short and long presses, then allows process optimization as the employees can trigger different functions in the manufacturing process flow, and using these button presses, and those events are then combined with the accurate real-time location info. And as the feature is fully interoperable with the Quuppa system. The button press sequence data is available from the same Quuppa API as the location data. And if you are interested in this specific case, you can find a link to a podcast at the bottom of this slide. And then the second reference case is from the intralogistics and optimization of smart ordering processes. The end customer is EOT, and they are producing fastening elements. And the partner providing the overall solution is also our longtime partner, Indutrax. And earlier, the main challenges of the customer were related to the fact that the processing of orders comprises several production steps, sometimes across plants and with the subcontractors, with variable routings, and there were manual steps without full digitization of processes. And also plenty of time was spent on searching and finding the right items. And after taking Quuppa RTLS solutions into use, EOT is tracking over 8,000 orders simultaneously. And for example, the time spent in searching the right items is reduced by 75%, which brings a lot of savings in the working time. And also the orders can be effectively located on the shop floor by the tags LED using the pick to light feature of BlueUp Forte Plus tags. So bright LED can be controlled through the Quuppa system. And basically this is another great example where these BlueUp's Quuppa Approved tags are used, and how the enhanced features can bring additional value to the customer. And similarly to the previous button press data, the same Quuppa API can be used to control the tag LEDs for pick to light use and for system integration. Okay, but these example customer cases conclude my part of the webinar, and next it's time to give the floor to Alessio and Oksana from BlueUp, so that you can tell more about the BlueUp products, custom features, and the use cases the products can unlock for others. So I hope I can give the control in the right way.
Okay. Thank you, Joni. Thank you, everybody, for listening this webinar. I am Alessio from BlueUp. I am the CEO of the company, and Oksana Butrymchuk is with me, and she's in charge for the support and technical activities. I start with a few words about BlueUp. So we are an IoT company based in Italy. We are focused on design and manufacturing devices and solutions for indoor tracking and location. Regarding the production and the design and production of tags, we are Quuppa partners from 2017, so it's about 8 years that we worked with Quuppa team to develop new tags based on their technology. And our portfolio includes both wearable tags that are used for tracking people, and asset tags that are used for tracking physical assets with different shapes, different features, but all of them are based on a reference firmware that we have developed based on the libraries that Quuppa provides for developing compatible tags. As mentioned from Joni, some of our tags have been Quuppa Approved, so they have been certified directly from Quuppa regarding not only the firmware, but also about the antenna performance, mechanical specification, and so on. But all the features that are included in our tags are shared by all the tags, including the Quuppa Approved tags and also the other ones. During these years, as I mentioned before, we have developed some custom functionalities based on the reference Quuppa firmware. These functionalities are based on specification that came from our customers and includes four main type of functions. The first one is the advanced button events management. The second one includes advanced triggering commanding option. Then we have modes for advanced motion detection. And the fourth type of features that we have included is algorithms for directly detecting man-down events. So after this short introduction, I leave the word to Oksana that will provide you with more details about these functions and with some use cases where we have used these advanced functionalities.
Thank you, Joni. Thank you, Alessio, for the introduction. So let's start talking about this first feature that we have developed, that is the button management. So the standard Quuppa firmware recognizes when a button is pressed on a tag, while in our BlueUp Quuppa firmware, we differentiate also among different button pressures. For example, single click, double click, short press, and long press. This feature allows us to assign specific messages or specific actions to be performed when the button is pressed in one of the four modalities. Moving forward, our BlueUp Quuppa firmware allows to configure and to trigger an alert on a tag, configuring the LED, the buzzer, and the vibration motor. These peripherals have configurable period in 100 millisecond units, number of repetitions, and duty cycle. Additionally, for the LED, also the color mask can be configurable. The BlueUp firmware has embedded also advanced motion detection modes to detect different motion events. These motion modes have also configurable parameters to allow higher detection flexibility. For example, in advanced motion mode, the accelerometer detects whether the tag is moving or is still. As per the configuration parameters, the standard Quuppa firmware has the motion intensity configurable, but in our firmware, we have added also the motion duration to avoid false motion detection events. The next accelerometer mode is the orientation detection. In this mode, the accelerometer detects whether the tag is oriented vertically or horizontally. For higher detection flexibility, the configuration parameters are position duration and detection angle. This later one is used as the reference angle to detect the orientation of the tag. In free-fall detection mode, the accelerometer detects tag free-fall events. In this case, the minimum fall height in centimeters is configurable. Last but not least, the shock detection mode detects strong unexpected accelerations of the tag. In this case, the shock intensity is configurable, that is, the minimum detectable shock threshold. Additionally to the accelerometer modes and accelerometer detections, also the man-down detection algorithm can be configured. In this case, when the man-down event is detected, first the tag emits a local alarm. After, if the person is fine, the button can be pressed to abort the alarm. Otherwise, if the button is not pressed, after a configurable time interval, a man-down alarm is broadcasted in the Quuppa direction finding packet. Now that you have seen our custom features, you of course may ask us, how do you configure them and how do you receive the events? Well, the triggered events are sent to the QPA inside the direction finding packet in the 3 user data bytes. In the first byte, there is the summary of the tag configuration. The second byte contains data about the accelerometer triggered events, and the third byte contains data regarding the button events. To configure the tags, the user can use the standard API call send Quuppa request, composed by tag ID and request data. More than one tag can be configured at the same time. The same API is used also to send comments to the tag. For more information, you can refer to the document linked here, where both the features and the payloads to use are described. So the tags feature described up to now are used in various environments to implement different use cases. For example, in healthcare, consider to equip your patients and staff with SafeX tags. These tags can be used to detect different localized alarm events. For example, the emergency call with the button short press, the assistance request with the button long press, or man-down event detection when a person falls. Alongside with the alarm, also the precise person's position is broadcasted. Next, to avoid situations in which the supplies have run out in critical moments, the supplies management system can be implemented with our Quuppa TagX button tags. In this case, with a single click, the operator can signal that the supplies have dropped below the 50% of the viable ones, while the double click is used to signal a critically low level of supplies to allow a prompt restock of the supplies. To protect medical equipment from damages when handling and transporting, the equipment shock detection allows to send an alarm when an anomaly is detected. Based on different situations, the free fall, shock, or orientation alarm is triggered. Other use cases are implemented also in the industrial environment. For example, the pick-to-light use case that has been already taught by Joni allows to an efficient, fast, and accurate asset management and warehouse management. In this case, by commanding an alarm on a tag, the operator can find the asset quickly, increasing the efficiency and the productivity of the warehouse. Additionally, different LED color masks can be associated to different operators. Also, the worker's safety on site can be managed with the SafeX tag. Some dangerous situations can be detected and managed. For example, the unauthorized area entry. The operator's tag is continuously tracked on site, and when the unauthorized area entry is detected, an alarm is triggered on the tag to notify the operator about the danger. Also here, the man-down detection is used to detect cases when the operator falls. And finally, the operator can press the button on the tag to send an alarm to request help or just assistance. To conclude, if you're interested in testing our Quuppa features or just to get to know better our Quuppa tags, you can purchase our Quuppa tags kit that you see here, which contains all our tags portfolio. You can find it on our shop or also by writing us an email. Thank you, and I give back the floor to Joni for the final conclusions.
Okay, thank you, Alessio. Thank you, Oksana. At this point, we would also like to remind you about the Quuppa partner event, which will be arranged in 2 weeks. And it's a 2-day event arranged in Helsinki, Finland, and a great opportunity to meet the Quuppa partners, network with the industry professionals, and to hear about the latest developments and solutions in the RTLS market. And you can find more information from the link at the bottom of this page, and it also includes the link to the registration page. And BlueUp will also be joining the event. Yeah, now I think that concludes our webinar presentation, and it's time for the questions and answers. And let's check if we already have some questions on the list. But please be active and send the questions to Q&A section. And actually, there is one question at least at the moment. And yeah, maybe this goes to BlueUp and Alessio and Oksana to comment, and that as there are these custom features in your Quuppa tags, how do they affect the battery lifetime of the tags, and how to take that aspect into account when using these custom features?
Well, battery life is not is only affected in some specific cases. Clearly, if you trigger commands to toggle the LED or the vibration or the buzzer, clearly this has an impact on the battery life. But in general, these functionalities are embedded in the firmware and does not have a huge impact on the battery life of the tag itself.
Yes. Okay. Thanks for that answer. And of course, it depends on the activity and how often those, for example, the LEDs is activated. I think at the moment we don't have any other questions on the list. Let's wait for a couple of minutes, and of course you can, if you come up with. Okay, now there are more. How is a man down event recognized? Does it work with a very low Z coordinate when the person is on the floor?
Well, not actually. The algorithm is embedded in the firmware and essentially detects a sequence of events. And mainly, these events are a fall, which is followed by a period where the tag is not moving. And we use some specific threshold for both the acceleration of the fold and the duration of the folds and the duration of the still period. And when these parameters matches the thresholds that we set in our algorithm, the man down event is detected. So there is no detection of the Z coordinate, but just a detection of a sequence of events from the accelerometer.
Okay, thank you, Alessio. And there is also the next question. Do you have rechargeable tags or tags with a replaceable battery, or are the tags disposable?
All our tags, except the card and the badge holder, have replaceable batteries. So all the tags have the replaceable batteries. We also have another tag with rechargeable battery, which was not listed here, which is the SafeX Plus, which has the same function with the button, the vibration, and the sound. But in general, all the tags have replaceable batteries, except for the card and the badge holder.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's wait for a little time if there are still more questions. Yeah, and of course, just contact us. The email addresses are on this slide, so you can contact us also afterwards. Okay, another question. Healthcare environment. A staff presses a button on the tag to request help. Is this request sent out to other staff near the one who is requesting help? So I assume this is for collecting or alerting the other healthcare people around the one needing the request.
Well, yes, this is possible. Should be managed by the backend of the system, in the sense that when an alarm is received with a certain position, the system can send down a command to trigger, I don't know, like a vibration to all the tags that are nearby, or for example, in the same floor, of the alarm attack. So this is possible, but clearly should be managed by the backend system.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, thanks for the answer. And then the next one is about the tag kit or the BlueUp tag kit, and is it possible to use it without the Quuppa locators, or how to test that tag kit without the Quuppa locators, or is it like a requirement to have the Quuppa system available?
Yes, maybe Joni, you can answer. Yes, Quuppa system is required. It's required.
Yeah, to have to play around with the features and to test different functionalities, it's of course necessary to have the either the Quuppa development kit or a small test project with the locator to test those capabilities. But you can contact us and we can clarify that further if you are missing a development kit, or you would be interested in testing the BlueUp tag products and the tag kit. The next question is, what is importance of orientation mode, especially for personal ID card or key fob tag? Person can keep it horizontal or vertical on body. So maybe
that specific function has been developed for a customer that apply the tags to physical assets, not to people, and in order to track the orientation of the asset itself. But clearly, it can be used also for people tracking. We don't have yet use cases where these features have been used for this kind of applications, but all the features are shared in the firmware. So the firmware is the same for all the tags. We just differentiate the tags depending if the tag is a button or as the LID or so on. But all the features are shared. So depending on the use cases, depending on the requirements on the tags, you can enable this function and use them for your specific case.
Okay, good. And then the next question is about recharging of the tags. How frequently do they need to be recharged on average? Days, weeks, months, years? And I think this is related to the tags or the tag models that potentially have this recharging capability.
Well, the tag that we presently have, which is not yet Quuppa approved, as a recharging period which is in the order of months. Clearly, also in this case, depends on the settings of the tag itself and on how you use it. If we frequently vibrate or emits a sound and so on. But for standard use cases, the recharging period is in the order of a few months.
Okay, and maybe a relevant next question is that how do you recharge them? Is it with a standard USB charger, with micro USB, or some other?
Yes, it's a USB C port.
Okay. Okay, and then we have a very nice list of questions coming in. So the next question is about, is it possible to set transmitting power of the tags? And we have talked about the Quuppa API and configuring and commanding of the Quuppa approved tags. And well, Alessio and Oksana, you must have experience on that as well. So.
Yes, this is a feature that is a native feature in the Quuppa tags. So where it's possible to set the transmission power and the interval for each of the tag state. So if the tag is triggered, or is an alarm state, and so on.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a key functionality of Quuppa tags, the state machine configuration and the power levels and the intervals, as you Alessio mentioned. And so the next question is about do all these tags work with BLE AOA detection? So I assume that this refers to the AOA positioning with the Quuppa system. So yeah, the short answer is yes. So these are Quuppa compatible tags and verified to provide good positioning accuracy. And then the next question is the system Quuppa plus BlueUp capable of working in both 2D and 3D mode? And is there any difference in the accuracy in the two modes? Okay, is the precision in the Z-axis the same as in the XY domain? So I would say that this 3D positioning mode is asked every now and then, but in the big how to say majority of the healthcare or industrial use cases, the 3D positioning is not actually needed, and for 2D the 2D positioning usually that is more than enough to get the value for the RTLS solutions in the processes and in the operations of the customers. So I think this three-dimensional positioning is something to really clarify that what is the need and the requirement, because it usually makes the installation a bit more complex and is there really value from that Z-axis or from the third dimension in the positioning? But yeah, that is probably the short answer into that, and the accuracy in the 3D mode, it is dependent on the installation, so that may affect the decisions around that topic. Do we still have time for one question? I think there are more questions coming. I think that I can get the list of the questions also afterwards. So please keep on sending them. If you are about to type one, I can answer by email and also share it with Alessio and Oksana. But let's take one more question. Can we actually get this a bit? This is a longer one. So can the multicolor LED of one Forte Plus HVL tag assigned to one asset be used for signaling in different colors depending on the configured event? Green LED for search and find of the production order, such as red LED flashing on wrong area entered of that same production order. So,
well, actually, the RGB LEDs can be drive with individual colors, so with the red, the green and blue, or by mixing the colors. So you have 7 options for the colors, and also you have other options for the period and the duty cycle of the blinking. So this allows to have a wide range of options for enabling the light blinking, and all these can be should be clearly the logic of how you enable this. Again, stays in your backend software, but by sending the commands, you can enable very wide range of configurations. for the lady.
Okay, thank you, Alessio. And I think now it's time to stop or end this webinar. And thank you, Alessio and Oksana and all the active
Thank you.
Thank you.
of the webinar. And yeah, let's follow up on the questions that were asked but not necessarily yet answered, because we just need to stop on time. And yeah, hopefully we see many of you in the partner event, and we will continue with BlueUp on developing new things and serving the customers. So thanks for today's webinar, and see you later.
Okay, see you later.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.